Hello everyone, hope you're having a great day and welcome to this new video in which we'll be analyzing the Riftbound news for this week. As you may already know, Riot shared big news with us this week about organized play and the first Riftbound regional qualifier in Houston. And not only will I be reading the news with you guys if you've not heard about it yet, but I will also be sharing my very own perspective coming from a very experienced TCG competitive background on several games, and I tell you what, things are looking very promising. So as usual, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it to your friends and drop a like or tell me in the comments, and without further ado, let's get started. So this is about Riftbound's first English regional qualifier, which are already big news, and also other organized play updates. So hey Riftbounders, we're out of the press with some news about our first English regional qualifier, plus some juicy new details about the world of Riftbound organized play. So what I was talking about before, the organized play is basically every tournament competitively that you're going to play will be under this organized play banner. So let's make like Timo when he sees some brush and get into it. Let's go. First thing first, they're going to be talking about the first regional qualifier, which is in Houston, Texas, United States, of course. But don't worry, European guys, we'll have our way in a few paragraphs. So, mark your calendars because we're coming to Houston, Texas from Friday, December 5 through Sunday, December 7. And we're bringing everything Riftbound with us. So already something we can talk about is people were quote-unquote concerned that Riftbound events would be organized at big League of Legends locations like MSI, Worlds, and so on. Maybe they'll do this, they talked about this, but it's not only this. We know it's Houston, and we know it's a Riftbound only event, which is obviously good news because this means we don't need a league event to have a big Riftbound event, which is very cool. We're arriving with a lot of things to do, but the star of the show is the regional qualifier, and it's actually a very interesting sentence because you will see later on that they do have a lot of other things planned for this weekend, which are very interesting too. So blah blah blah, glory prizes, blah 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 blah, and a chance to qualify for the regional championships. So for you guys who don't know what this means, basically there are several steps to become a Riftbound champion. The first thing will be local play with something that's called Summoner's Skirmish, which we're going to talk about just a bit later on. That can grant you a round 1 bye for regional qualifiers, such as the Houston tournament. But anyone can enter these regional qualifiers. You don't need to have won a Summoner's Skirmish. You can just buy your ticket and enter. These tournaments, so the regional qualifiers, will qualify, I think it's all of the top cut, right? I think it's all of the top cut, we'll see this later, but I think it's all of the top cut, to something bigger, which is the regional championships, which will be, I guess, one in North America, probably one in South America, one in Europe, and every people that topped a regional qualifier will have the chance to attend the regional championship, and those who top slash I don't know how many win the regional championship will get the chance to play for the world title. So it's a bit of like stairs, you know, but as far as regional qualifiers, you can enter them just by grabbing your ticket and getting there. These events will feature cash prizing and special prizes awarded to the top performer, blah, 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 blah. This event will be in Houston. This we already know about. And something interesting we need to talk about right now is ticket pricing. So they released 3 bundles, if you want, on how you can get in the event. This is the 3 bundles that they released. The first one is the spectator bundle, which is just like you get in the events, you have access to booth, so like sellers, you have access to events, probably pictures and stuff, and you also have access to one side event voucher. So for $25, you can play a side event. Obviously, side events have a pricing when you enter, so you're basically like not like getting there for free. Of course, you have to pay the travel and like the housing and stuff, but you basically, I think, get your money's worth in prizing just by entering the event, which is like pretty cool, no? But you're not playing the main event. And then you have two options to play the main event, which I think are actually rather interesting. I think you have two options when you're a big TCG organizer, at least from my experience. It's either you go like kinda cheap and you give like boosters or something at the entry of the event, and you're around like 25-30 bucks, and it's like okay. Or you go kinda premium, and in that sense you can go a bit more expensive, because anyways the loot you give has value, the accessories you give have value, because tickets are expensive, so like not everybody can go, and so it's like people get their money's worth by like selling the stuff you give them or opening it. So they picked the second option, which I think is like fine. It's just like A or B, but like there's no wrong answer in my opinion. And so the cheaper, quote unquote, way to get into the main event is the competitor badge. You will have to pay 75 bucks for it, which is pretty expensive for a regional in like any TCG, but once again, keep in mind what I just said. And then you get the entry to the main qualifier event, which they said is $100 of value. So I'm not so sure what could be $100 of value entering the main event, but if it's like a promo card plus a playmat plus a lot of boosters plus like exclusive sleeves, then yeah, you're getting your money's worth for sure, because $75 is like not expensive to get all this exclusive stuff, so might be very cool there. And also you get included in this page 2 side event vouchers, which are about $50 in value, and the Misfortune promo cards, which I think won't be like that expensive, but could be like a few bucks, so why not? And there's something very interesting that you will see just later on with the event vouchers. But you will be like, okay, but I'm a very competitive player. I want to go there and try to win the regional, or at least stop it. So I will play the entirety of day 1 and then like most of day 2, and I won't have the time to play side events. Well, you'll see that these are still worth it for you. Just wait a bit, but you'll see why these side event vouchers are still something you might want to get your hands on. And then we do have the premium competitor badge, which is like the full package, all right? So we're on a $300 bundle, which is a big one. But in this bundle, you get access to the main event. So once again, they're saying it's like $100 value. You have a Origins booster box, which is $120 value. So you're already on like 220. And then you get 4 side event vouchers. And this, I think, is for more casual people, because I don't think if you're willing to compete and win the event, you will have the time to go for 4 side events during the weekend. But why not? I mean, like, why not add that? And then you also get a on-card sheet, quote unquote. So a 2x2 Riftbound card back sheet, which is something that could be valued at a bit of money. If you guys are not like aware of what an on-card sheet is from other TCGs, so basically it's like factory things, factory sheets where they print cards, but instead of like cutting it and separating it into singles, they just take the full sheet and they like put it in some like wood or something to protect it, and then they give it to you. And most of the time, since it's a bit of an exclusive item, it has some sort of value, if not a lot of value. I don't think this one will be like tens of thousands of bucks, because there will be like quote unquote a lot of them, but I think it could be like a bit of value, which is like somewhat interesting. So that's the pricing to get in there. Now they're talking about the main event, which will be the regional qualifier starting Saturday with 9 rounds of Swiss, and then top 64. So I think it's like 1,000 players, so it's decent-ish, like not very huge. Just to give you, like, some of you might be like, yeah, but I'm used to playing like 200 players with top 32 or something. So top 64 on 1,000 plus players seems a bit hard to manage. So once again, biggest regional ever for Yu-Gi-Oh! In Europe was 3,200 people, and it was top 64. So we do have a bit of margin before getting there, and I do think you could be pretty happy with having a top 64. Also, 9 rounds of Swiss is not so much. It's honestly kind of a cool day. Some TCGs go to like 10, 11 rounds of Swiss day 1, and then like 1 or 2 additional rounds of Swiss day 2. So I think it's like pretty cool in terms of you can hope to grab a top if you're decent at the game. And then on Sunday, so next day, top 64 players will fight for pricing and money, of course, because you will see there is money, which is very interesting. So that's about it for kind of the organization of the events. There will be broadcasting, blah, 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 blah. Regional qualifier pricing, which is something I'm very excited to talk about. So this is the actual pricing for the top cut of Houston. So if you end up in top 64, you apparently don't get anything. So you get the top, of course, maybe something that you'll see later on, but you don't get money, which might be like something we want to discuss. Like if you're on that top 64, it means you've basically succeeded. I think like going top should probably mean you get money. I don't know, but still pricing are pretty decent. So 17th to 32nd are getting money. Not a lot of money actually. Like 250 is not enough to pay for the travel and accommodation and something. I don't think so, but it's still a cool reward. Then 9th to 16th will get $500, which most likely pays for parts of your travel fees, and then using the pricing and stuff, you can probably make out for the rest. And I think 5th to 8th is where it gets interesting, because first of all, you have the $1,000 cash, which is very cool, not gonna lie. And also you get the top 8 for Misfortune promo, which will probably be valued at some money. Not gonna lie, it's big box, I think. So I think top 8 is where it gets really interesting. And then I think once you're in top 8, you are making money. And then 3rd and 4th, so losers of semifinals will get 2,000 cash. That's a lot. Then second will get 3,000 cash. Very good. Basically a month of salary for most of us, if not 2 months of salary. And then the champion gets jackpot. It's jackpot. So 6,000 cash, which is a lot of money for a first tournament ever on a game. The champion playmat which will be like for sure four numbers, if not 5. Like in terms of value, so at the very least in the thousands, and the promo card, which is the exact same, but I'm pretty convinced this card will be in the tens of thousands at first. I think the mat is for sure in the thousands, and I think the promo card is for sure in the tens of thousands, like maybe like 10, 12, 15,000 bucks, something like that. So this guy first place gets a lot of money and a lot of words from it, and actually that's very deserved, because I do think it will be very hard to get first place. Also, this art, this Misfortune art, is like stunning. I like it a lot. Also, something very interesting that they teased about before, but now they announced for sure, and it's very, very cool, is the best of pricing. So the concept of the best of pricing is you don't have to be the best player in the whole tournament. You can just be the best at your deck, and then you earn something very cool. Let's say I enter with Yasuo. I'm the best Yasuo in the tournament. I finished top 64. There's no other Yasuo in top 64, so I'm the best Yasuo in the whole tournament. Then I will get a holographic Metal Champion Legend, with 3D elements printed on it that quote unquote bring the champion to life. This, guys, you might not understand how big this is. This is insane because, get this, it's written there, these bad boys are tournament legal. So after Houston, if you were the best Yasuo in the whole room, you own a one-on-one copy of a metal legend that is tournament playable. This will go for a fucking ton of money. Like, I can't imagine it going for less than like 5,000, maybe? Even more, probably? Like, I do think this will be a lot of money. There's only one in the tournament, and there's no other regional until mid-February in Europe, not even in the US, in Europe. So I think these are an insane pricing too, and like maybe the best pricing out of everything that's available that's not money. Like, I think if you get like the best, like the Kaisa, for example, which is a very played and very liked leader, you might have had the best pricing in the entire tournament, including money. Like, maybe if the guy that finishes first is not Kaisa, and like the losing finalist is on Kaisa or something, I think this guy might get the most money out of this tournament. So it's huge, very huge, and this will go on not only for Houston but for every regional. So that's like very insane, very, very insane. And yes, the winner will obviously get this card. So if the winner is a Kaisa guy, he made it all. He made it all. And now something I talked about before. If you're watching like the ways to get in the competitor bundles, and you're like, okay, but I want to win the event, so I'm playing the entirety of day 1, then I'm planning to play in day 2, maybe get like top 8 or top 4, so like go like deep run in the tournaments. What will I use these side event vouchers for? Well, there's something very interesting, and that's the pre-regional challenge. So if you get on in Houston or like any regional location basically on the Friday, which I highly advise you to do if you're a competitor, you will have the chance to play in a pre-regional challenge. And if you manage to top this pre-regional challenge, not only will you get a lot of prize wall tickets, so basically like rewards that you can pick at the prize wall, but also earn a round 1 buy for Saturday. You still have a shot at a round 1 buy, sorry. And that's very cool. That's very, very cool. Also, if you're afraid, don't worry. They already announced that these buys won't stack. So you cannot get a 1 round buy in local, then another 1 round buy winning the second summoner skirmish, then a 1 round buy winning the pre-regional challenge, and then you start your tournament at round 4 being 3-0. This is not possible. Also, like lots of other side events that I don't want to spend like so much time on, but sealed is like draft, you know, you open boosters, you play with what you get. Conquest is actually an interesting format, and I'm hoping they will bring this to either the top cut or some specific tournament someday, like Worlds or something. On-demand events will be like I get win a mat, something like that. And that's about it. Something else I want to talk about is the judge program. I'm not gonna drop names, but we've known TCGs that have it took them like 2 years to have a proper judge program, and it's a big mistake. To be fair, judges are the core of organized play. If you don't have good enough judges, you will generate so many problems that you have no good way to handle. So I'm very happy that they are bringing up this kind of judge program so early in the game's lifespan, and that's very cool. And they're also offering pricing for judges. I think it's cool for judges to get pricing, exclusive pricing. I mean, not like displays or stuff, but like actual exclusive pricing. I just think if you compare like this Misfortune full special arts plus like promo banner and stuff to this with just like, I don't think this judge stamp looks so good, and this promo thingy at the bottom. I think they're a bit on the... They could have made a special illustration for judges cards. But like whatever, might come out later on. It's once again, it's the first regional, so maybe they'll get onto or correcting this for the upcoming ones. So this was for Eastern Regional, already a lot of things to analyze, and in my opinion, a very good first regional program. And if they manage to do everything they said, it will be a success, in my opinion, complete success. But also they dropped news about organized play in local stores, which is something that is very interesting, in my opinion, because this is what most players will be looking for. Like, let's say we have next regional in Europe, we have like 2,000 seats, which is already a huge tournament, don't get me wrong. I think it will be like maybe like 3 to 1% of the community that's getting there. And like most people will be interested in what they can get locally. So this is the promo. Maybe some of you already got your hands on. This is the Timo promo. I do have one. I don't have it here. It's at the store, but I do have one. This is the promo you can get by playing your your tutorial, basically your Riftbound tutorial with the trials deck. It's the normal promo Timo card, sorry. They just added a promo stamp on it, which is like, does not make it a very valuable card, I think. It's not shiny or anything, so it's just like a cool thing to have. But what we're excited about is news. And that's what we are talking about right now, starting with the Nexus Night. So this is for your usual local tournaments. And it's very, very cool because actually you will have the ability to get your hands on packs, 3 cards packs, which will include all of these cards, apparently, for the first edition. A lot of games already use this system, and there's like every 6 months or 4 months or something, new editions of these packs, so you don't pull the same cards again and again. And the valuable cards are at the top, which I like a lot. So we do have a GG Easy Timo promo, which is very, very cool. Might be worth a bit of money actually if Timo gets better someday. We will have, this I think is very, very nice, 6 exclusive alternative arts runes. If you guys are not aware of the system, actually currently it's common runes, then alt runes in the boxes, and that's it. But like alt runes in the boxes are like super duper expensive because they're kind of rare to drop actually, so they are valued at a bit of money. And these runes don't have the same artwork, but they look kind of cool too, and you will be able to drop them in these Nexus Night packs. So most likely these will be cheaper than the original alternativations and will allow you to pimp your deck without having to pay hundreds of dollars. So that's very cool. That's very, very cool to have the ability to get that in a classic random local tournament. And then you do have several different cards which are kind of cool. Most of them are at least playable. So I think this is a good card, this is a good card, this is a good card. This could be a good card at some point. Good card, good card, good card. Could be a good card. I think it's underplayed as of now. I don't like this card. I don't like this card. This is a good card, good card. I don't like this card. Decent card, good card, good card, good card, good card. So for most of this roster, it's actually meta staples. So yeah, cool. You will get your hands on staples while not buying them. Why would there be any problem with that? So pretty happy with the roster they choose. And I really like these parts of the visual. I think this is very cool to have access to so many exclusive cards on like random local tournaments once again. And then I've talked to you about Nexus Nights. Something we did not get the chance to talk about is Summoner Skirmishes. So the level above Nexus Nights. So a bit more important tournaments, but still at local. Basically the biggest tournament you could get at your local, I think, as of now at least. And the pricing is actually pretty good because it's kind of similar to what other games do, don't get me wrong. A bit sad that these cards are not alt art cards, But they do have the winner rarity stamp, kind of, which makes me hope they will have added texture and folding and so on and so on. And maybe later on in the game's lifespan, they will become exclusive alt arts. So if you get to your shop and play the event, you automatically get this guy, which is cool. Then if you end up top 8 in this event, you get these guys, so second Tryndamere. And then if you win, you get these guys, so third Tryndamere and second Blitz. Something that could be good is like this guy is a common, then these guys are extra foil or extra texture or whatever, and then these guys for the winner are alternative arts. That would be very cool, but like not something we're doing for now. And also something that I like a lot is this playmat. So don't get me wrong, they did not create a whole new system. There are already a lot of games using this system. It's looking so cool, like I want to get it so bad. So that's about it for skirmishes. And then we do have the release events. Basically, it's like pre-constructed deck thingies. You do have access to exclusive cards, which do have an origin stamp, and also promo codes, so maybe extra folding, extra texture, I don't know, or just a way to get your hands on a free legend, which is like fine too, right? But like this stamp is kind of cool and kind of exclusive, a good way to get prices that you like at pre-release event, where anyway you basically pay what the deck costs to play the event, so anything you get extra is like cool stuff. And that's about it for organized play news, so it's very cool, very, very interesting.